All right. Hello, hello, everyone. We are live. Let us see what we can get into today. Um, I'm having, oh man, I have my camera set on auto, so it's kind of playing with the light here. But, anyways, no problem at all. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the comments. How was your week? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have uh Peter Maskovrasia. Sorry if I butchered that name, but welcome, welcome. Let us know where you're watching us from. Let us know what you're trading and what we're gonna see what we can get into today. Like I dropped on the Discord a little bit earlier this morning, we have been seeing a sell-off in the indexes, more specifically the ES and the NQ. We're seeing a lot more weakness in the Qs in comparison to the ES. So the Nasdaq is selling off a lot more than the ES, but we're seeing a little bit of recovery here. So we'll go over the plan with me before the open, so we can see what we can get into today. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you are staying green. If you're not staying green, well, I hope that at least you are learning. So we're going to see what we can get into today. Now, let's look at gold really quickly. Yesterday, we talked about, a sell-off that started actually around here in this area, around those 46.89s. So it has been pretty heavy and is continuing. Now, we have some interesting events this week. We have, more specifically, the Fed meeting tomorrow at around 2 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see what happens there. What's going to be the decision? You guys remember that we're going to have a new Fed chair. Jerome Powell is going to leave us, and we will have Mr. Kevin Warsh, that's been specifically appointed by President Trump, that's going to kind of lead the Fed from there. So we'll have to see what his decisions are going to be. He's someone that comes from the well, he was already in the Fed, and he was there around 2008. So I'm really wondering what his stance is going to be, what his take is going to be. Is he going to be really pro equities and really acting to prop the market up? Is he going to be printing printing a lot of dollars to try and keep the markets, climbing? Or is he going to have a different tone? So it's going to be interesting to see what he does there. Anyways, let's take a quick look at oil. We have oil climbing up. So we saw an initial sell-off on oil and then a reversal back to the upside. So we already know the assets being inversely correlated. If oil is moving up, then equities are moving down. Yesterday, we had oil pushing lower and equities pushing to the other side. So we're going to see what we can get today. And hopefully we can find some good setups to trade. Let me see something. All right, so we've been discussing, actually, let me switch to my trading view here so we can look at oil. We're going to start with this big elephant in the room. We've been talking about this gap since, what was it, last week or the past few weeks. We've talked about it with Jane, and I'll probably be joined by Jane in a few at around 10 o'clock. So let's start here with oil, and then we'll talk about gold, and then gradually dive into the Nasdaq and the ES. All right. So first of all, we know that we had a huge gap here in oil back in around April 12th, right? Now we've been saying that as long as we remain inside this gap here, right? As long as we remain in here as we were since yesterday, we were kind of in a neutral zone. Now, we started to get kind of a climb up from around April 26th, and we had what we could call a bullish structure for the asset, right? So we re-entered the gap area, we reconquered the gap area, we pulled back, and then we broke that trend line. This is actually one of my favorite setups. When you break the trend line, you retest, and then you move back down. But we did find buyers right there at the lows, right? And I'm strictly looking at this from a technical perspective, right? I'm not necessarily even thinking about the geopolitical aspect, but we know that tweets, news, whatever's going on over there in the Middle East is affecting the movement of crude oil, obviously. Now, we retested the bottom of this trend, moved back up, and we finally yesterday broke out of it, right? So we broke out and closed higher. So I'm going to leave this here. Let me zoom in for you. Let me not even leave this open. All right. So we broke out. Let me put this on an hourly chart so it's actually clearer for you guys. And let me know if you can't see, if it's not clear enough. But we broke out of this area here, right? And retested, and we're continuing that move up. So you see this hourly candle wicked inside the zone, was bought back up, and right now we're holding. So as usual, we're going to form our bullish, our bearish, and our neutral scenario, right? So first, let's start with the bearish scenario. We moved up. If we are unable to hold this area right here, and we retrace back to the 50% of this hourly candle, which we actually are right now, right? It is highly likely that we go and retest this level. So this is the bearish case. We would go and retest this area, probably consolidate a little bit, and then revert back and go inside and go, explore these levels again, or the middle of that gap, right? Now, we need to realize that we are at a very interesting level, which is the $100 level. $100 oil prices is a pretty key price, right? I'm here in the US, and I've been observing how the price at the pump has been steadily climbing ever since this conflict has started. So right now, we are testing the highs of this gap. So we will see, and again, this is strictly technical analysis on a technical perspective. Can we hold these highs, right? Or will we in fact form kind of a structure similar to what we had here, where we tried to hold and we kind of reverted back inside this range. So this range, I think, is probably what the market considers to be fair value. And as we kind of get above this, it will get more and more expensive. And then maybe we go retest this area. So again, let's go back. I drifted sideways here. I said we were going to do the three scenarios: the bullish case, the bearish case, and the neutral case. So the bearish case, of course, in the short term is we're retesting the 50% of this. We revert back to the upside, consolidate it a little bit here, and then go test the middle of the range here. And we're talking for the next couple of days, right? Now, the neutral case would be, well, we maintain our stance here and we kind of oscillate right above this area. So right above the 98.50s, but we don't quite go above the 101s or 102s. So we stay in those low $100 levels. So that would mean that we would be oscillating around this area here, right, for the next couple of days. That would be the neutral case. And of course, neutral means indecision. It means the market is trying to find a price. The market is trying to decide what to do. If, on the contrary, there's a lot more uncertainty, we get some tweets and things like that, and we get a lot of uncertainty concerning the situation in the Middle East. Well, what that would be bullish, and I say bullish cautiously here, that would be bullish for crude oil. And this would just be considered as a pullback. Sorry, guys. It would be considered as a pullback where, we hold these levels and we formed a bullish structure to the upside, maybe underneath this trend to start, right? But if we're really intensifying, if the uncertainty, starts to get really, really high, well, what would happen is we would push higher and the trend would accelerate. So we would have an initial structure right here, and then we would break above that trend line and continue and oscillate higher and accelerate. Now, we had those 119 highs previously, and this area right here between 119, where's the 119? Oh, it's prior here. Sorry, we retested that already. So this was 114. Sorry. So between 114 and a 110 more or less, we would go and retest this area, maybe pull back, right, and continue higher. Of course, we're talking about multiple days, not just today, unless something really goes wrong, but that would be crazy. That would be the bullish case for oil. And if oil is going up, well, most likely equities are pushing lower. So we'll see what happens with crude oil. That is my take for now. We'll ask Jane what she thinks about. But we've heard a lot of calls for much higher prices. We've heard calls for $120. We've heard calls for all the way up to 150. And if we go back in history, the highest price I think was 137. Let's just take a monthly chart, and that was around 2008. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, we went higher actually. This was around '08, and we went all the way to, this is 241. This is pretty high. But so we saw, months of just rapidly rising prices and then a fall. So we will see. That would have been an insane short though. If you caught this move for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months of just pure downside action. If somebody caught this, they made a lot of profit. All right, so this is the take on oil. Now we're gonna switch to gold because we've gotten a lot of requests for gold, and let's see what's going on there. Now let's just go on a daily chart to start. Zoom out. As I've been talking for the past, I don't know, week and a half, I've been talking about this this channel I think we're in, and I could copy the upper end of the channel, right? And I could also argue that we would have a lower end of the channel, which would be around here, right? Now we would consider these two areas liquidity areas. So the area around the upper end of the channel, so this area here would be considered liquidity, and then this area here would be considered liquidity. So here we're looking at the speed of the price, right? With the trend. But we also have to look at the horizontal levels, and where these two intersect is where I think the assets can interact. So we have the first intersection being here, and the second intersection being here, right? So this is where I expect the prices to go in the medium to well, we'll say medium term before we revert to the upside, because I think longer term, I'm bullish on gold, but short term, we've moved up quite a bit. So we'll see what happens there. So for now, as I've been saying for the past few weeks, we're pushing lower and we're looking, in my opinion, to go test those 4500s in the next couple of days, right? And then we might, hold a little bit there, and eventually I think we can go and test those lower $4,000 levels, maybe the 4100s, right? So then, do we go and capture liquidity here and revert back to the upside, kind of form a bullish structure here, go test these levels, pull back, capture liquidity here, test again to the downside? So that would be one, two, three, four. If we're thinking about Elliott waves, maybe five impulses to the downside, and then form a base around above this previous consolidation here where we took off from. So maybe I went a little bit too low in my analysis. Maybe this would be, higher here, and then we revert back to the upside. Well, that is entirely possible. We'll see what happens with gold, but in the next few days, weeks, months, that's what we're looking at. If we're not able, to, of course, to hold these support levels, of course, for me, that is the bearish case. The neutral case is, well, we are able to hold, above this previous high, or these previous support pockets there, or even here, and then we kind of move sideways and we revert back to the upside eventually, faster than going and retesting those 2025 $3,500 levels, because that would be significant. That would be, let's see, percentage wise from those highs, that would be, well, actually it's a 36% pullback, and a 30-20% pullback in an asset is actually just healthy. It's not that bad. So that is entirely possible. So as long as we are above this $3,600 level, uh, still bullish on gold, in the medium to long term. So we'll see. But right now, for the short term, we are definitely pushing lower. So if we zoom into the 4-hour chart, we are continuing to push lower. I know people who have been shorting since the beginning of April, around April 8th. I know a lot of them got stopped out around here, and I know a lot of them got stopped out around here as well, around April 17th. But if they did and they held their shorts longer term, well, they're printing profits right now. So we'll see what happens with gold. Sorry, guys, need a little bit of hydration there. Give me one sec. Dropped a little bit of liquid. We don't want to be dropping liquids next to electronics. I remember I used to work at a place you couldn't have your beverage near your computer, and I should probably put that in practice here. All right, so today for gold, I think we're gonna continue to the downside. We might see a slight little pullback for a while, revert back, and then continue to push lower. So yesterday we talked about it around here. Let me put this on a 15-minute chart just so we could zoom in and see it. We had many people looking for setups, but what I mentioned is, look, if you looked at the pattern of the price starting from around these areas, starting from around April 22nd, you had the same thing. You had a bunch of what I could call dead cat bounces. So you got a bounce, sell off, bounce, sell off, bounce, sell off. We kind of tried to, buck the trend over here, but we sold off again. We formed a higher low here, but again, we sold off. So that was tomorrow. I mean, that was yesterday. And what I said is if we could not decisively break above this trend line here, which we tried around this area, we tried, we were moving lower, moving lower. We tried to break here. We were not able to. We tried to hold and break again here. We were not able to. So by the time we got to the open, which was here, and we pushed lower, we saw some buying around this area. But by 10:45 or more or less 10 o'clock, we were pushing lower. And I talked about how, if you were shorting here around 4,700, your target could be these lows here around 40, the 4690s. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Let me drink some more water. Yeah. So we said this area here could be your target, and that's actually where we reverted from, captured some liquidity, reverted back higher, and then they shorted again and are now pushing the asset much, 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 much lower, right? So right now, today, we've recovered a little bit. We're pulling back, but we're definitely continuing this downward trend. So let's look at the speed of price. I like to talk about the speed of price. By that, I just mean the trend. So the easiest way to see the trend without too much confusion is to use a line chart. We could put a 15 minutes since we're going shorter term. This way you could see, the clear highs and lows, and price usually moves in channels. So we could say that previous support became resistance. So right here, previous support became resistance here. So we're pushing below this. We're forming a new channel below, so we could extend that, move it a little bit lower, look at another channel. We broke out of that channel. We're reverting back inside. So now what we need to think about is, okay, in the short term, what are we doing? Are we going to kind of, catch a small bounce, do the same pattern that we've been seeing, which is you catch a dead cat bounce and then you get sold again. So it is possible that we catch somewhat of a bounce. Again, three scenarios: bullish, bearish, neutral. It is possible for us to catch a small bounce here, go retest those highs, maybe consolidate a little bit, and it's entirely possible that we move up and go test this VWAP, volume weighted average price here, which would kind of line up with this previous cluster, this previous consolidation here that we had. Yeah, around 3 o'clock. So then what we want to see, if we are able to get this push here, is, okay, can this hold? Because if not, then we're seeing, as we've been seeing, as we've been seeing with this pattern here on gold, is we get a bounce and it gets sold. We get a bounce, it gets sold. We get a bounce, it gets sold. We get a bounce, it gets sold. I mean, the pattern is pretty clear. Now the selling has intensified here, so we could get a sharper bounce and then move lower. Of course, that would be the bullish case for the day. If we are unable to get the bounce and we get indecision, well, we would oscillate in between these levels here today. And then on the contrary, so let me put this in green. So that's the bullish case, that's the neutral case. But the bearish case, if this was already the tiny bounce that we got, then, if we're looking at the speed of price again, the next logical area for us to go test in the very short term is moving lower and going to test these lows around the $4,500 areas. And that would be the bearish case. And we get a break. This becomes resistance. We retest that horizontal resistance right there. And then we push lower. And let me put this in red because this would be the bearish case. So that is my take on gold. Bullish, neutral, bearish. And now let's go look at the indices. We're about 3 minutes from the open, so pretty close to the open. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Yesterday, I mentioned we had this this trend here that we were trying to break below, but we had a lot of indecision Yesterday it looked like it was going to be a neutral day, but we caught a bit in the afternoon. We were able to go and retest those highs, but we were not able to break higher. This previous support level became resistance, and that's where we sold off from. Now we've sold off significantly. We've sold off. We've moved down 472 points, which is about 1.72% for the Nasdaq. So the question here for me is, okay, can we go and retest VWAP? Can we go and retest this area here? Because that would be the previous consolidation level, right? What we are seeing though is a very, we're seeing acceleration on the downside. So as usual, like I like to tell you, and I just told you, I like to look at the speed of price. So the speed of the price moving down would be this trend. We're aligning it with the highs. And then the intersection with the horizontal levels is what we're looking at. So if you look at this trend here, and then inside here is no man's land, because that's where we would get another consolidation. We are right above the point of control where the high volume nodes, so the most volume has been traded. We've pushed up. The question is, can we hold this? Can we pull back and push higher to these levels here, or will we go and oscillate in between this no man's land consolidation there, find sellers again for them to push us back lower? So we're about to open. We're going to see what happens. Let me switch to black arrow to see what's going on. Let's go to the Qs. So we're kind of seeing a little bit of a bounce here. And like I just mentioned, what we are looking for is, so let's move this here. Yeah, so what we're looking for is, okay, what is the price going to do? Are we going to be able to bounce and oscillate in between that level? Now, for anybody who likes, fair value gaps and things like that, we can see, a gap right here in between these two levels. So this area, it becomes a very interesting area of contention. Now we've just opened. We're seeing, sellers pushing to the downside, holding the pressure to the downside. So the question is, are we going to be able to hold and push lower? Let me switch to a 5-minute chart. Let's see if buyers step in or not. And let's see what we get. As usual, I will wait for the first 15 minutes to develop before I take my first trade, and then we will decide what we want to do. All right. Let me know where you're looking, where you're watching us from. Let me know what you're trading. So we can trade this market together. All right, we're seeing a little bit of buying here, as expected. So I want to see what the price does. Looking here at the ES. ES is moving in lockstep with the Qs, and the ES has already tested these highs, right? So the ES has already rejected this area here. So a move lower is highly likely for a continuation of this initial move right here on the ES. So we'll see what happens. We'll give it a little bit of time, and we'll take our trade. Of course, if we can find something that makes sense. Let me know what you're trading. Let me know what you're looking at. All right, getting my other platform ready here for possible trades, possible entries and exits. We'll see what happens. put a little bit of background music. Actually, what do we put? Let's put this. All right, let's put this for a little bit of time. All right, we're getting a push up here on the ES as expected. We're probably going to see a similar scenario on the Nasdaq. So buyers have stepped in. So what I want to see honestly is how we react in this area. How are we going to react in the 27,208 more or less? If I go and switch to the trading view, this area right here, right? This area is the low volume node area, right? So we're getting multiple check. If we get into this area, it's multiple checks in our favor. We have a low volume node, right? We have, for my traders who like fair value gaps, we have a fair value gap right here in this area, right? We have VWAP, and then we could put the volume up. If we get the move and a wick on volume, this would confirm the sell for us. So this is the area where I want to enter a possible short, and we will risk whatever high that gets created here, right? We'll try to enter as close as possible to the wick if we do get a wick, or if we get the pattern formation. Now, we could be patient, wait for the test, because what usually happens, what could happen, is you move up to this area, right? You form. Let me put this in yellow so you can see it better. Let's put this lower time frame. Maybe go on a 3-minute. So yeah, so what might happen is you go into this area as we expect. You go and test VWAP, right? But oftentimes what you need is a second test, and we might have to wait for that. So we test VWAP, we pull back, and then we form either an equal high or we capture liquidity slightly above this, and then we push lower. Of course, what would be ideal is if we could do it right here in the fair value gap. So this is a 1-minute fair value gap. So right here in this area, if we could stay inside this box, all right, and push lower, that would be a great setup for us. And we will also look at, you guys know I like to look at the opening range. We'll look at what the opening range does and kind of decide what to do there. All right. Guys, don't stay quiet in the chat. Let me know what you're looking at. Let me know what you're trading. Let me know if you want me to look at anything in particular. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. We are here for you. So let me know. Be careful not to spill my water here. Switch back to Black Arrow. For those who don't know, Black Arrow is the platform we use for our trading. So let's see what we get here. All right, we got Greg Jenkins back in the house. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are patiently waiting for a clear setup. We've been talking about how this area here is kind of what we're looking at to enter a possible short. Of course, we're going to let the setup build, because if we get in there and we see what we want to see, that would be a very good short setup for us. So just to summarize what we've talked about, we've been getting that sell-off in the equities, right? We are seeing the Nasdaq sell off more than the ES. It's been, tech has been hit more than the ES. So what we're looking for is a possible entry in this area. Why? Well, the first thing we looked at was the speed of price. Sorry, we got our trend lines, right? And we could see that, okay, price, the price was channeling inside this area. And then we broke out and we accelerated to the downside. Now, what makes sense is a reversion to the mean being the inside of this range. But before the inside of this range, we know that support, which was this trend line, becomes resistance. So our first check is if we get back in here, we are testing resistance. So if resistance can continue and act as resistance, that's the first check in our favor. The second check in our favor is what? Well, we have for my people who like to trade fair value gaps, we have a fair value gap here on the 5. It's probably going to show up on the 15 as well. So this area, this box that I have here is what we would call a fair value gap. So that's a second check in our favor saying that, okay, this is an area of interest. The third check in our favor is this would be right below VWAP. We know VWAP is volume weighted average price. So that could be considered our mean. And as long as we are below VWAP, usually we are bearish. So that's another check in our favor. Finally, let me go back to TradingView. We could see if we pull up the volume profile. This is a point of control where we traded the most volume, but here we have a low volume node. So there's practically no volume here. So these areas often become pivot areas where we go, we test, and we can pivot from. So ideally, once we are in this area, we're looking at the price and we want to see a few things happen. We want to see a wick, right? Similar to this wick, possibly, where we wick up and then we get sold off very fast. Now that would be our first entry signal. Once we get that wick, the second thing we might get and we need to be aware of is this wick could be, retested. And maybe we want to enter on the retest. So maybe we want to enter here and not necessarily on the first wick. We will see how it happens, but that is the particular setup I am looking for. As usual, I will get my opening range ready and kind of see, okay, what kind of range are we getting? This way I can evaluate how much displacement we're getting with the price. I can already see right now that we're getting about, let's see, from the open, we're getting about 100 points of displacement. This is good, because that gives you the idea of how much of a range we're getting. If we compare to yesterday, the displacement was less. If it was around 60, 70 points, I think, around 930, so around here. Actually, it was similar. We got that wick here. But yesterday was very choppy and was hard. We got the clean move later on during the day around 11:30, but that was after the stream. So let's see what we can get right now, and then we can decide. Greg asking, when do I take a trade in the fair value gap? Well, personally, I don't really use fair value gaps. I'm showing them to you because I know a lot of people use these to trade, but the logic is what? The logic is, that this is an area where there's a lot of confluences going on. So if you're looking at it from a fair value gap perspective and you're just looking at the fair value gap, okay, that's fine. We had a gap here. So fair value might be here and price might revert back to the downside because we're retesting a previous area where we gap down from, right? But the other checks, we have multiple checks in our favor here. We have the fair value gap. We have the trend that shows that this is a possible resistance. We have the VWAP, which is volume weighted average price that we're trading under. And then we have the volume profile indicator. Let me put the session volume instead. Indicator showing that, okay, this is an area that we kind of we pushed away from, and we know that low volume nodes can be pivot points. So when do you trade? Well, you wait for the price to get in there. once the price is in there, you want to look at how the price behaves. Because if what you're expecting is for the price to get rejected and move to the downside, then you want to see a wick, right? And then that wick could possibly happen on volume. And after that wick, possibly a green candle that turns red, or a red candle close. And then you want to see maybe one or two red candles after there, opening and closing lower. That's what you want to see to enter your trade. Now, it is not a perfect formula as anything in trading, but so far, that's what we're looking for. So first thing we've seen is, okay, we've entered this area, but now we've entered this area with a lot of speed. We've entered decisively. And if I switch to black arrow where we could see, how fast price is moving. All right. So far, we're seeing what we want to see. We're seeing rejection here. Just like we expected. We're seeing rejection on this candle. But what we're not seeing yet a sharp rejection. We just saw some rejection. Now we want to see a sharp rejection. And honestly, I'm not going to enter yet. I'm going to enter on a retest because I'm not seeing the sharp rejection that I want to tell me that, okay, sellers are in control. So right now, this might be a complete recovery where we need to go and test much higher before we revert back to the upside. Or maybe, the sell-off is done for the day and we're continue to move upwards. Right now, the reason why I don't want to buy is because bigger picture, if we zoom out, right? Let me zoom out. And we're starting to see what I want to see now. All right, we saw somewhat of a rejection, but we saw, this candle have a wick, but it didn't re-engulf the previous candle. So it's not a strong sell-off yet. This is actually looking more like a controlled pullback so far. We'll have to see. That's why I look at multiple candles before I determine whether or not I want to take the trade, because this is looking like a clean pullback above VWAP where one could possibly go long for a continued move to the upside. It is not what I want to see for my short. You see how we're pulling back slowly. We're seeing the candle go red to green, not red to green. So this is a possible pullback where buyers are possibly entering, right? 5 minute. All right. So for now, we have our range. We have our opening range. We're going to put the opening range as usual in, let me put this box in the dotted format. This way it doesn't confuse us. Make it white or gray maybe. Yeah, this way we could barely see it and it doesn't bother us visually. The less things you have on your chart, the better, in my opinion, but that's debatable. All right, so we'll put our pink box here. This is our opening range. And so far, we are more bullish than bearish, right? We're seeing buyers in control here. So before we enter a trade, and I'm only looking for a short trade. And if I get it, great. If I don't, then I won't take the trade. I'm not looking to buy because, like I was saying, bigger picture, here's what we're seeing. If I go on the daily chart, what did we have? We've had, was it 3 weeks, 2 weeks? Let's see. We've had, if I count from, the beginning all the way till yesterday, April 27th, 19 bars. So 19 trading days, but 27 days of just straight intense price action, an intense move to the upside. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting somewhat of a pullback. I'm expecting maybe a small pullback to go and retest the upper end of the highs, right? So we've started here. We've had our first real red day here after those all-time highs. So I'm looking for a retest of this area here. So maybe 2-3 days of pullbacks. Of course, that's going to depend on what the Fed decides tomorrow. Depending on the Fed decision and what they say, this might just be a single day pullback, like with a single red day, and then we push up to the upside. But today, I want to see a move lower. And if we don't get that, and then I possibly won't take any trades because I'm not confident in the longs, right? So right now we're still seeing buyers in control. Still seeing buyers in control. So we'll see what we get. What are you trading today, Greg? Let me know. Let me know. So right now we're breaking out of our opening range. So far this is looking very bullish, right? If I put this on a 5-minute chart, so far looking very bullish. We are right at that level of resistance we talked about. So on a horizontal level, this is the area of interest. Second area of interest would be somewhat higher around here. So if you were going long, if you went long here, well, first exit could be here and second exit could be here. All right. We're now starting to see the rejection that I want to see. You see how we got some fast down moves here? That's kind of what I want to see, right? So I want us to move lower, then I want us to go retest those highs and possibly get the short. Now we're going to be super extra patient. I'm not in a hurry to get in this trade. This is not a quick scalp for me because if it does work, then we could get a nice trend, a continued trend to the downside. So let us see what we get. You're looking at gold and oil. Okay. Let me take a look at gold and oil again. We talked about it this morning, but we're going to look at it again. So right now we're kind of seeing what we want to see. We're seeing hesitation. We're seeing price starting to struggle to push up. So that would be our indication to kind of start considering our short. But we're still seeing, at least on the 5-minute, pushes to the upside, and we're breaking above that fair value gap. So if we can't break, if we can hold it here and revert to the downside, then we'll take our trade. So rejection, pullback, second rejection, hopefully a lower high, and that's where we enter our trade. So we'll wait and see if we get that. If we don't get that, then I'm not really interested in the trade. All right, let's check out oil. And I had 3 scenarios for oil lined up. Oil pushing lower. Well, if oil is pushing lower, then that's bullish for equities. So that might mean that we continue to see higher prices. So what we might need to wait for, if we get it, is kind of a push lower to the upper end of this range. Now, if I zoom out, and this is for Greg in particular, remember when we talked about this range here, this gap, right, between 93 and 98, more or less. Well, this gap was filled. We traded inside the gap. And what I said is, hey, I want us to get out of this gap for us to have a clear path forward, at least on a technical level. What time frame do you recommend to take the trade? Okay. Well, it really depends on your trading. What kind of trades are you looking for? Are you looking for scalps, or are you looking for longer term holds, right? So You say you're using the M1 to enter to take the trades after you got the confirmation on the 5 minute. Well, that's a good strategy, right? If you're taking your entries on the 1 minute and then you're looking at the 5 minute to guide your trades, then that means if you're looking at the 5 minute as a reference, then you're looking to hold your trades for 15 to 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, then that's perfectly fine. Which means, so let's just zoom in. Let's look at gold, maybe. Let me look at gold on the 5 minute. I have my scenarios here. Okay, so if you're taking, let's say you took this trade, right? You were able to catch this bottom here, and then you captured it on the third candle here, right? So you entered on the 1 minute, but you're looking at the 5 minute, and you should probably take a look at the 15 to determine where you want to exit. And if you entered here, say you entered right here at, let's say, 45.77, then you're looking to hold your trade for maybe half an hour, because you could get maybe 3, 4, 5 other green candles before you get a pullback. So you entered here, 1, 2, 3, you get a pullback, 5, and then you see this rejection here. Why? Because we got to this previous pocket, so they sold these highs. And depending on your risk and how many contracts you hold, well, exiting here, you could probably exit one contract. Now you could have probably held longer and held your trade, moving your stop and controlling your risk. So it's all gonna depend on how fast you want to trade. So in the mornings, when I'm trading here between 9 and 11, I'm looking at 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15-minute time frames. Prior to taking the trade, I've probably looked at the hourly, so the 1 hour time frame, just to see where we're at. So I start from the top, daily, I straight down to hourly, 15, 5, and then 1 to kind of find the entry. And then I bounce back and forth between the different time frames. So you don't need to, there's no specific rule, but what you want to have is kind of 1 or 2 steps above, 1 or 2 steps below. So your trade is on the 5 minute, you're trying to capture 4, 5, 6 candles on the 5 minutes, which is, about 15 minutes to half an hour. Then you're bouncing back and forth, because what might happen is your 20-minute trade might turn into an hour trade because it makes sense on the higher time frames. So don't be shy on bouncing from in and out from different time frames. You're monitoring the 5 minute, but you have another window open for you to look at the trade. All right, we got the rejection as expected right here. So all I need right now is a pullback for me to enter the trade. Now, this was a great entry, but that's what we were basically looking for. That's what we talked about this morning, is we enter here, we test this support, we see the rejection. I probably would have entered here. We were talking to Greg, we missed the trade, but it's fine. We'll see if we can get a pullback and enter. Which trend line? Because now I am on the Nasdaq. Are you talking about gold? Let me know, Justin. By the way, welcome back. So hopefully right now, let me zoom out on this for you. Let me put it on 5 minutes. So my trend line started way up here. Gold. All right, let's look at gold. You guys love gold. All right, let's go back to gold. Trend line starts at the beginning of the day. I did the analysis a little bit earlier. So the way, and I can show you how I came up with that trend line. What I usually do is I'll go maybe to a higher time frame. So to answer Greg also, I'll go to a 15-minute. And this is not clear on where to trace your trend line and how to trace it. So I'll usually use a line chart because the line chart is just cleaner. It's simpler for you to see where is the trend developing. So right now, what I did was, I took these highs and traced the trend line. You can clearly see, well, let me reset. You can clearly see how the price is moving. So what did the price do? What is the behavior of the price? Price likes to channel upwards, downwards, or sideways. Price channeled inside here, then we broke lower. Then we channeled inside here, then we broke lower again here. Then we retested, we went back inside this channel. So for a shorter term trade, what I'm interested in is, okay, that's why I took out this trend line. We don't really need this anymore. We go back to here. These are the levels I'm interested in. And then we can put our candles back, go back to a 5-minute time frame. And now what are we seeing? We moved up, we rejected this level here, this prior, where we dropped from. We retested the level, dropped from it again. We just retested this level. So far, gold is trying to hold, but my bias is more bearish than bullish, right? So I had the 3 scenarios here. I have the bullish case, which is the green line. I have the neutral case, which is the yellow line. And maybe I should adjust my bearish case here, which would be the red line. So let's just redo this because I did this before the open. Pull back, test again, move lower, go test this level. So we would have some hesitation here, maybe test again, and then move lower. That would be the bearish case if we get the bearish case, right? Gold, got it. You might want to get back to Nasdaq now. It's pulling back to your short entry. So thank you. Let me see. All right, we're pulling back. All right, we could probably risk these highs. So let's see, do we get more rejection? 1 minute, let me just check something on another platform. All right, this is looking like a good entry for me. Just wait a little bit. I want to see if they're buying above VWAP. So we're going to be a little patient, maybe give it another candle before we enter. So another 30 seconds. Let's see what we get. I'm looking at a tick chart as well. We're going to see where the other candle opens. And then we'll decide if we want to take the trade or not, because if we see too much buying, then the trade is not yet confirmed. This was just a pullback. So we'll wait. And we might need to oscillate a little bit higher, closer to this area. So we'll wait. And I don't mind catching it, all the way over there. We're getting close to, yeah, it is 10 o'clock. Okay. All right, let's open the other time frame next to this. So Greg, this is for you. You can have multiple time frames open. I have the 1 minute here and the 5 minute here. We're inside the box. So actually this is looking like a pullback so far. Let's just wait to see if we get true rejection, and then we'll enter. All right, we're getting rejection. This is good. I'll enter here, risking this prior high. Just want to see the ticks, points, and we'll see if this works. Now, a few things to be aware. If this was a pullback, then they'll buy this bottom and they'll revert back to the upside and we'll get stopped out. If not, then we'll get our short. Which chart do I prefer to use? Well, I prefer candlesticks because they give me more information. I know about the Heiken Ashi. I'm butchering the pronunciation there. But I've never really used the Heiken Ashi charts. I just use the candlesticks because I get a lot more information there. And then sometimes I just use the line chart on a higher time frame, just if I'm tracing trend lines, because I don't need as much information for my trend lines. All right, I hear the doorbell ringing. Somebody is in the house. That's not a doorbell. Wait, I can't hear you. Can't hear you yet. Are you on mute? Let me just say you're not on mute. I'm here. We're here. No problem. Let me let you think here. All right, you're coming out. Test again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Woohoo! Party
You are
time.
here. It is party time.
All right. Yes, let me close out the chat over there. Multiple screens going on. All right, I'm going to invert my trade here. All right.
Yeah.
Inverted.
It's looking.
I'm going long now.
It's looking long. That's what I was about to say. I'm gonna hold a short, but it's not rejecting as much as I wanted. You're trading the Nasdaq or the ES?
ES minis.
Okay.
And it's right at the, you know what, I'm going to get out. I'm just going to close it out because it's right at the bigger money level. And I'm not really liking it. It's like, it can't make up its mind. It's kind of schizophrenic. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down.
It's in that indecision area here. So we'll see.
And we've got, it's not as clean of a trade because on the SPY, let me do it like this. Oh, you know what? Let me close this out. Close this out. All right, I closed out that trade. All right. Let's put this here. So I'll share and I'll go over a little bit and then you can hear me?
No problem. I can hear you all loud and clear. Let me know when you're ready to share your screen.
This one, share. All right. So I'm going to pull it up over here because when you get it up, I'll share. Now, see,
give me 1 second.
It looks great on the SPY, but not so good on the ES because we got a bit of a brick wall right there.
All right. And your screen is up.
Awesome. Okay. So right now we're on 15 minutes. Make this a 5-minute too, just so I can see. And I'll put a line over here where we've got that bigger money on the SPY. It's like right there. So now I'm feeling a bit more confident, but on the SPY, we've got a 50 simple moving average right here. So it's like we're right in sort of congestion zone.
Like a pullback more than a
now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm starting to see is that we're starting to get more fear in the market. So if anybody also uses UVXY, VXX, UVIX, we're starting to see, all right, there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. And I will put this here. Right there.
All righty. Let's see.
Targets on up to over there. So let me pull this down. Let's bring it down here. Okay. All right. So starting to see that there's still a bit of fear. We do have FOMC tomorrow. So
yes,
we're going, that's likely going to be something that will end up being a catalyst for the market. We just got some news that Iran's saying, oh no, the market's not, or the market, the war is not over. That was this move here. The war is not over. It was the bottom of the day when they tweeted that or came out with the announcement. So looking at that, it could be setting up. We have some major earnings reporting tomorrow night. So really, it feels kind of like we've got bigger picture positioning going on for the market, where really right about here overall for the market is where we see the bigger money level. So you know what? I'm just going to actually bring this right on back up here. I'll bring it up to that trend line. And we are going to see that this area is pretty much waiting for the overall decision of the market, their positioning. We've gone sideways for a number of days, slightly grinding higher. I've got the pivots on. That's why we've got them lighting up right here. So if we look at it right now compared to, I'm just going to put it on from really roughly halfway through here. So like right there is where the big money volume is in the market for the S&P 500 since April 1st. They were down at the bottom, way down below by April 30th. Right, so let's back it out here. They were all the way down here. April 1st, right here. Boom, it moved up. Now they've positioned up here. Kind of like a Jenga tower, right?
I
A
like
Jenga tower, if it's top heavy, what does it do?
It wobbles and then falls down.
Exactly. So we're sort of in that weeble wobble phase at the moment. And is this going to truly go higher? We've seen that on the bigger picture, we've slowly had a slow grind down, but is it going to come back up test, which many times they do. We test the upward trend and then we roll over from there. So waiting to see. Feels like they want to position more before they get the heavy hitters in for the S&P 500. On the broader market view, we're starting to see that the equal weighted ETF, RSP, is pulling back. It's below their bigger price level where they've sold. The MAG 7 is not there yet. So Nasdaq is not giving me any sell signals yet. The SPY broader market is. So is it going to be, once we get the MAG 7, Qs and SPY?
Yeah.
But right now it's waiting for that confirmed signal.
Whose earnings? I know we're having Apple earnings this week.
Let's go
And
here.
who else are we having?
Let's do,
But
you know what?
I
Yeah, go ahead.
agree. No, I agree with your take. And actually, yesterday I was mentioning that, and yesterday, at least for the first half of the day, it was a lot of just barcoding for a while. Well, barcoding to the downside, but barcoding and kind of hard to find entries there. And we talked about that, how we thought, okay, you know, this is positioning because we have significant earnings this week. We have the Fed talk tomorrow. Warsh is not in. Warsh hasn't been. How do you call that?
Is he washing the market yet?
He's not washing the market yet.
Do you know earnings whispers?
Yeah, I haven't looked at earning whispers in a long time, but yeah, I know about them.
So Wednesday, April 29th, after the close, we've got Microsoft. We've got MAG 7,
There we go.
basically.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
we've
what I
got-
was going to say.
we pretty much got MAG 7 on Wednesday. And so that's going to be
The real
why.
catalyst. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Probably they're positioning, they're moving it, but they're not taking it super directionally yet. So
It's a lot of
Yeah.
earnings.
we have a lot of earnings. And it's usually like that. They don't have, let's see if I do list view. How many? I mean, look at that. Let's keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. Just keep
Whoa.
scrolling.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We have a lot. So that is one of the most volatile nights of earnings season is when we have the mags reporting and we've got Chipotle reporting too. Then it's you can now sort it by time. Love it.
Nice.
There you go. So the first one's going to be Google and then Amazon and Meta, all right there at 4
It's
o'clock.
Google. I thought it was Apple. Okay. You can
Yeah.
see it on trade stocks anymore. But but yeah, definitely going to be a catalyst for the market, and we'll see what happens there. But I don't know. It's not a huge sell off, but it's pretty significant. I mean, in my opinion, on the futures side, it was almost 2%, 1.72 for the Nasdaq, 0.5% for the ES. So quite a
Well, it's
move we
also
saw
that
last night.
that the indexes have moved up and the futures have moved up so much that 0.5% seems like a big move, right? When you're
Yeah.
looking at the numbers, but overall in the grand scheme of things, it's a 0.5%,
Yeah, it's half a
right?
percent. I mean, I was just saying, we just looked at it. It's been 19 days of just green, 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 green. Really intense green. We were looking at the speed at which price moved up. So I've been expecting a pullback, but all time highs. You don't want to be you don't want to be fighting the trend. So we'll see. Definitely, we'll see what the earnings bring. What this Fed meeting is gonna be about, and we'll see what price does. Since we're not holding, I'm not holding overnight positions or anything. We're day trading. It makes it a little bit easier, but
Hmm.
we'll see. So right now we're just oscillating sideways, kind of like yesterday. None of us are entirely right, so we'll see. I had a question here in the chat. Let me see. Justin saying, "What's my TP? You shorted Nasdaq too." You should not take
Oh,
your decisions based on mine, Justin. This is just a guide. Don't follow me into trades. I'm wrong, but my TP is the bottom half of the opening range if we do get follow through to the downside, and then my stop is 27,252. So that is if, of course, we get the break of that nice little trend that Jane just put up here.
yeah. So we shall see.
We shall see if we get it.
I'm looking to see where is this. I think this is an auto one that I put on.
We'll see. But so far we're holding trend pretty well, and it's looking like the buyers are in control. So we'll see what we get. How was your week last week? Was it a green week or a learning week?
It was more of a learning week
Oh, so
for
we're in the same
futures.
boat. Okay.
I've also got so much going on. 33 days left for my kids in school before the official Florida launch, and
Okay.
63 days for us to pack up.
I
So
was
a
about to
lot
ask, how's that moving thing going?
that it's a lot is going on right now. And so at the moment, sort of just, dealing with life a bit more. And this is on the back burner
Yeah, I totally
because
get
it's
it.
always going to be there. So I've got to take care of packing up the entire house.
That is not. I've moved. What is it? A dozen times. I think I counted 12 times in the last 10 years. I was like, all right, that's almost once a year. And the last move we did, I was like, okay, I'm done. We're not moving for another decade at least, unless something really bad happens, because it's a lot. It gives you an opportunity to clean. You
Yes.
get rid of a lot of junk, but
Yes. I'm moving
it's
this
not
around here.
easy.
No, it's not easy at all. And that is the premise for me saying, you know what? I've got to prioritize this because we have 15 years worth of stuff to also purge,
Oof.
plus 2 kids,
Yeah.
So it's a lot. We've already done one drive down, which was great. And just and my mom moved, like a lot of family life going on. And as for everybody that I teach, it's like, if your mind is not completely clear, then, what, don't take it out on the market.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Don't. That's true.
and so for me, it's been really watching to see that big major move to the upside was amazing. Now, like I said, it feels like a little Jenga tower. Are we
It
going to topple over.
We might, move sideways, distribute for a while before we decide where we really want to go. I know, and I always love to have your take on commodities. We have, a lot of gold traders here, a lot of people looking at oil. So we looked at gold a little bit this morning, but I really would love to have your take because the safe haven has been pushing downwards for the past few days.
Yes. And seeing that they are giving me sell signals on both gold and silver. Commodities in general are dropping. However, oil is grinding higher because it's going to its own beat with the Strait
Yep.
of Hormuz. Right here, 46.12. So let's go to GC. Current. Is the GCFTU the perpetual?
The perpetual, yeah.
Okay, I'll put it on here. So let's throw on a line. 46.12 and 60 cents. Position 46.12 and 60 cents. Appearance. Let's make it thicker. So yeah, so packing the house, selling furniture because we're not really taking anything. So it's a
Facebook
lot
Marketplace
going
is the best thing when you're moving, by the way. I didn't know about Facebook Marketplace. And
Yes.
it's great when you're moving to get rid of stuff.
Yes. So I've been using that. So right now, really seeing that, hey, we are big picture below. We had this big sideways, right? We said, hey, if it goes below, then likely a short. Also on silver, let's put on the silver. Oh, no. Okay. SI.
Yep.
How come I'm not seeing? Oh, there we go. Silver futures. Okay. Let me bring it on over here. So silver futures. Oh, no, just kidding. I didn't do it on my other side. I had it on Sentinel. So silver futures, we've got the 161 moving average coming up, which many times it will bounce off of. Hey. All right. 75.54. Come here. Doesn't really matter. I'll just put it on. Position. So 75.545. Make that a nice thick line. This is a, hey, don't mess with this. So we are below.
Okay.
Right?
So that would
going
be
below today.
That would be your kind of inflection point line in the sand that above this we're bullish, below this we could look for shorts, right?
Correct.
Now, medium to longer term, do you think we go retest those 65s, those 57s?
For 55s and 67s, you're okay. Hold on.
That was on silver, but
let me see here. I think
it's clear
we
on
could
gold though.
Yeah, I think 65.50 area. Oh, excuse me. So roughly right around over here. I could see that we could come down there and test that. The gold futures. Let's zoom it in. Hello.
So the gold futures, you have that accumulation level all the way around 4,000. The summer of 2025, where we had that accumulation level, which is exactly around those
down there.
Yeah, it lines up with that accumulation if you put a longer term.
Yeah. So that if we, well, why don't we do it like this? If we can hit one, how about month? Can we do month? There we go.
Yeah, I think you could do any time frame you want.
Yeah, so look at that. Actually, the 1 month, I would go with the 8 EMA, so 44.65. Literally, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
44.65. And let's go to the silver futures 1 month. Let's see. Okay. 67.94. You can see that we came down, we bounced off of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that looks like that might, if we can have that hold as support and then we have them come back in down here. We've had buying wicks off of that. So they've bought off of it in the past. Biggest one was August of last year with the big entry, which you cannot deny that crazy volume,
Yeah,
right?
that was
How many?
insane.
That was 245,000
That's
last
insane.
August. So we had some selling here, but it hasn't been to the same extent. Was this JP Morgan flipping their position from short to long?
Yeah, probably
And that's
covering.
where Jamie Dimon was like, hold on, I see that this is going to be a disaster. Let's do it on the other side and let's sort of front run it. Let's go back to the gold futures and see if we have any crazy volume spikes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's in
Same
August.
month.
Yep.
Coincidence?
Yeah, that's pretty significant. So,
And if we draw this upward trend there, right? We see that they pulled back to it, bought, broke. Now that's going to be a resistance zone up there. Excuse me, right there. Like that. So let's bring it back to a 1 day. So if we were to advance back up and bounce, maybe up here, the 51.50 zone.
51.50.
Yeah, how's
Okay.
your short doing?
My short is working very slowly, but it's working. I can share my screen really quickly for the people who are asking where my take profit is. So it's around the bottom here. I might move it up slightly. I'm not seeing the acceleration I want to see just yet. So there's a lot of levels where they could buy again from.
Mhm.
We could see this 24,165 level flip. We could see this 27,124 flip. And then if we're just going based off of 50%, we could flip right now. So this is not a very convincing short as of yet. I'm still holding it, but we could see a reversion back to the upside. So I'm just going to move my stop right here instead of those previous highs. I'm going to risk from these highs, just controlling the risk a little bit. But I've just been patiently holding, waiting, because that was the only setup I wanted today. And if I do see acceleration, so if we get a lot of, if I get a pretty big candle and acceleration to the downside here, maybe I'll go for a lower target, maybe for liquidity here, route around the 2750s. But if not, then this is the target here, trying to capture just about 100 points. We'll see
I'm
if we get it.
joining you on it. I'm joining you on it. And I'm going to put mine to right about here. Let's see. Which candlestick? 8:15. I want the high of the 8:15 candle is what I want.
8:15, let me look.
Right here. So let's bring this up here. 27,100.
27,100. Nice. Yeah, that's right around where I want to be.
And there we go. It's falling.
Let's get it. That's what we want.
Jump,
I was
jump.
I like the energy of the energy.
Jump.
When we were moving here, what I expected might happen is that we might have gotten a retest of this area here. That's what I didn't want to see. But so far we're getting that push lower. We want to get acceleration. Now, if this really accelerates, we can, I like to talk about standard deviations of the opening range, even though I know it's probably not 100% accurate. But if this really accelerates, we could probably target 26,900s all the way to here. But I don't know how likely that scenario here is. So we'll see. But this is moving slowly. And then I'm just going to control the risk, risking the prior wick on the 5 minute.
Very nice.
And
I tightened
then
it up. I
we'll
figure
do
I'll
that.
stay green.
Yeah. Indeed. The risk on this is a 25K, so I have to be I have to be pretty mindful of the risk.
For sure. For sure. All right, I might get stopped out with my quick little trade there. I
Well,
was
you
in
get
and out
stopped out
of
green.
sorry?
I said you'll get stopped
There you
out
go.
green. Well, there you go. We talked about, probably buying coming in here. So I'll stay on that
Just
place.
because I stopped out does not mean that it's done though.
Yeah, I'm risking the prior wick up there. So we'll see. But yeah, that
I'm off.
is an area where, we can expect to see buying. Unfortunately, it might be what I was talking about. We get that retest of this here, and then it reverts back to the downside. The reality is, if buyers just stepped in, then this is going to continue higher, and I don't need to take that loss. That big of a loss, I mean. So we'll see.
Yep. And
We'll see.
it's battling these moving averages right at the moment. So I'm actually going to sell again.
Let's go.
I like it to the downside, not to the upside. Like it's broken. And we'll see if it will
We'll see.
continue.
We'll see, because this might just be a pullback for it to continue and do some kind of a dead cat
We're also
bounce.
at the 1030 mark. So is this going to be a reversal up? Like that just came up for them to like here, overextended, came up, sell, boom. Overextended, came up, sell, boom.
Yeah.
So we shall
Hopefully that's what's going on here. And we get our little trade. But if not, then that was the only trade I was looking for since this morning. It's just the one that made the most sense. I didn't want to go long. The analysis for me was pretty clear. I mean, this area was just like too clean, too clear for me not to take the trade. We had
There we
many,
go.
many confluences like we were talking about this morning.
Bringing it back to the green.
Let's just hold and wait.
Now we can chat, whatever. If I get stopped out, okay, it's green. I don't care,
Yeah, exactly. It's like hold your breath, and then
the riskiest time of any trade is when?
the risky that's debatable. I actually want to hear your take. It's debatable.
It's when you enter. It either goes for you or against you.
Or against you. That's true.
So
What about
it's
the times when it goes
riskiest
for
time.
you, against you, for you, against you? It is the riskiest time. But I said it's debatable because, for me, exiting is straight. I wouldn't say it's the riskiest time, of course. Maybe I had something else in mind. I was thinking like, what's the hardest time in the trade? For me, it's determining when to take profits.
All right, I'm back in again. It's this 38%. It's the 38%. Now I got to see. I got stopped out. But it took my stop.
They're trying to continue to push it higher. So we'll see. Because that's like a 50% discount
for the day.
For the day, just based off of the open.
Well, you can see the wicks. There's a lot of indecision.
There's a lot
here.
There's indecision. There's selling pressure, but it's not it's not very, very convincing just yet. We'll see.
We're below the bigger money. I'm going.
Let's get the acceleration. Let's add the arrows, the red arrows, for it to move down.
Jump on it. Come on, let's jump. Everybody say jump.
But
right.
Yeah, so far, my trade, I'm just going to switch to my screen really quick.
Yeah, do it. Mine, I'm in and out. So
No, yours is fun.
I'm out already.
Yours is fun and entertaining. Mine is boring. I'm just holding a trade. But yeah, right now the stop is finally at break even because the logic is what? Let me switch to a 5-minute chart. The logic is we were risking this previous high. We got the pullback. Actually entered somewhere. I entered here, I think. I didn't wait for this because I didn't want to miss another trade. Sometimes I'm commenting and looking at other things and then I missed the trade. So somebody in the chat told me, hey, it's doing the pullback you talked about. So we entered. But as we move in our favor, the 50% I was talking about, is this was the opening range. We pulled back here to 50% discount. So it's logical. We saw some initial buying here in the morning. So it's logical that we could get a retest here. Why? Because not only are we at 50%, we are at this prior high, right? We're looking very short term here. So it's highly likely buyers could have stepped in for us to revert back to the upside. But as we move down and the trade moves in our favor and has already done the pullbacks, it doesn't make sense for us to continue and just leave our stop there. Why? Because this is the what I could call the inflection area. If we're going to move up, this is where we're likely going to move up from. If not, then we'll push lower and we'll find buyers down here, and maybe that'll be where we revert from. If not, then we continue to push lower. But it gets to a point where we've seen 2 pullbacks, and yeah, the third one is possibly the one that's going to, move and revert back to the upside. So it doesn't make sense for us to lose money on a trade that's already working. I'd rather do a scratch trade than take a loss. So we'll see. We'll see. We're slowly pushing down. We're not yet seeing the acceleration that I would want to see, but so far the trade is working in our favor. I'll put it at 5 points so I can pay for commissions. This way, if I get stopped out, we are really break even, and we didn't pay that $2.50 per side for commissions. And hopefully we get the move downwards, and we might accelerate for this is for Justin. If you're still holding in the trade, if you're still in the trade, we might get an acceleration.
Yep. It's coming here, down to this at least 61%. Do you ever use the fib tool?
I use the fib tool on TradingView, not here. I've never used it here.
Okay, so it's below the arrows.
You said it's below the arrow. Oh, thank you. Now you're teaching me. There you go.
Yeah.
Fibonacci prices.
Yeah, so I did it from the bottom wick of 830 up to the 951, and we're just at 50% now.
Oh, sorry. All right, let's grab this. I'm on a mission to learn all the tools and all the things.
There we go. Woohoo!
All right, we're getting the acceleration.
We're almost down to the 61% now, which is 27,116.
All right, that's the acceleration we were looking for, and hopefully we get our profit.
It might go as far down as 27. Yeah, it might go down to 2780.
Yep.
All right. 27,100, tightening my stop. I was taking some stabs. 27,100 looks like where they want to potentially reverse it. So I'm tightening that, tightening and tightening it. Take 100 points. Or I'd really like to see it come all the way down. Yeah, they're going to drop it down to 2780.
It's accelerating.
2780.
2780.
It's going to be my new target. Yeah, or 2788. Let's put it right there. 2780. Well, for me, do what you want. I'm going 2788.
I want to capture 100 points, so I'm going to put 100. There we go. Oh man.
And my stop is at I stopped out.
I'm going to see if I can get I'm going to see if I can get 100 points.
I think you can. I think
you know how many times it comes right here and reverses up?
What's the number? What number did you put? 2788?
2790.25.
Oh, you're going to get it. You're coming. It's coming. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to get it. It's going to happen.
It's
Look at the
almost
1 minute.
there.
Are you on the 1 minute?
Yeah, I'm on the 1 minute.
Okay. It's coming.
Let's go.
I'm telling
Let's
you, it's
go.
coming.
Let's get it.
It's coming. It's coming. Come on. Let's go.
Patience.
like-
Patience.
With a Y.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
We got it.
There you go.
All right.
Congratulations.
So, Justin, if you were still holding that trade, congratulations. And if that was your take profit, you just captured 100 points. And now, of course, we continue to the downside. Now, a couple of targets to look out for, in my opinion, are this area here and this area here, the middle of the range. That's it. BTFD by the dip. This area here, right above those 2780s.
I gave myself 10 points test.
We're seeing 20 points.
10 points on that. Yeah.
10 points. All right.
Let's see if they sold on the Mag 7. Something's going on. I don't know what the news is. I don't really care.
Let's see. I could check actually. Have this tweet thing. Let's see. I don't know if there's news. That's the acceleration I was hoping to get much higher.
Mm-hmm. It's stalling here. I'm going to go in cautiously with 1. So I was trading 2 to the downside. No, they're not done yet.
Yeah, they're probably targeting this area.
I'm going to give it a bigger stop.
Right here.
It's overextended. On a 15-minute, it's super overextended.
On the 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's looking nice.
I'll add another in. I got a nice little profit there. Add another in.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is where we probably get, a little pullback and we just continue the sell off.
Okay. 5-minute chart. Let's bring it up. I'm looking for this to hit up to the back up to 27,125 is going to be my target to sell. Cancel. Let's move this. Look at that volume coming in on the 5-minute chart. It had a drop down, but no, don't do it. Don't do it.
On the 5-minute, let me put the 5-minute.
Yeah, look at that big volume there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for it to bounce up here. Definitely a sort of mean reversion trade or overextension.
Let's see if we get it. That's actually just almost as much volume as we saw on the open.
Yep. And it's also the low at 825 area that they're testing, that Camarilla.
And let me just open volume profile so I could see. Gold, by the way, we had 3 scenarios for today, and the bearish case is so far working.
It's testing the low of days still. No, setting new lows.
So NQ
45 is about 4 minutes away. Surprised it hasn't retraced.
Yeah, it's
there we go.
Definite liquidity area. It's retracing. There we go.
A bit.
All right. Well, congrats to whoever captured this trade. We got a nice 100-point win there, and we'll see, there's a retracement, and that would be a possible second setup for, whatever trade you're looking for. Jane is trying to capture a quick scalp.
Yeah, I'm actually going to move this up because if they come back up and really try to fake people out, actually, okay, I'm going to put it back at the 38 right here where they were big level of selling. Here, I'll expand it all the way.
So Jane is capturing the bounce. Nice, nice sniper entry
Put it
there.
at the
Following it.
bottom here.
Yeah, you said 125 was your target? Oh, you moved it
Yeah, but
higher?
then I'm moving this up as I go.
Nice.
I'd like it back up at this 38%. So I've got the overall fibs. It's an
Mhm.
auto fib actually that I have that it's drawn. I believe it's an auto fib here. So it does it for the, I want to say overnight hours. Let's see, 45.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I go to a 5 minute or 15 minute even, no, 5 minute chart. So it does, I don't know how far back it goes. Oh, look, I have one there and I didn't move this one. Okay, let's move that. So
You
let's
know
take
what I
one
found out the
right
other
here.
day? If you put one exactly on top of the other, they
Yeah,
kind of merge. Oh, you found out? Okay,
yeah,
you're a pro
yeah,
now. You
I
know
do that.
everything. I
Yep,
can't teach you
yeah.
anything anymore.
Now that's what I do with my stops. I do a
Okay.
hard stop with the two,
Yeah,
but I can stagger my outs.
you're outside.
I'm about to get stopped out. Oh, no. It's okay. It's green. Still a good trade.
Nice.
There we go. So they came up, they hit the 4 EMA on the 3 minute, and they reversed it.
What color is your 33 again? Purple or blue?
33 EMA is pink dotted, but I don't think I have it on this one. 4. No, I just have my 4, my 8, and my 15. What's this one? No, here it is. That's my
There we
33.
go.
This needs to be more visible for
Yeah.
sure.
Make it
Oops.
thicker.
Yeah, thickness. There we go. Okay, apply. There we go.
All right. Let's
Yeah.
see if we can get some follow through here.
So let's
For
put it on a 5
Jane.
minutes. Forehand and backhand. Let's go.
There we go. They're pushing higher. I see a little bit of volume coming in. Let me see on my
We're hitting the,
here.
let's go back to the cues over here. Did they change their position on the 5 minute chart as well? Because I had that yellow line is where they had
I think this is a
sold
very good
earlier
buy.
today.
This is a very good buy. It might be the area that kind of holds longer. Because it lines up with that pre-market low. I don't know. We'll see.
They sold up here. So actually, I am going against the trend 100% right now.
You're being Jason Shapiro. Let's see if
Let's
it
go
holds.
take one off. Let's take. We'll go there. We'll put that there. We'll see if they do a fib ping pong from the 50 to the 60.
Let's see. Let's
Or
see.
70 to the 60. Yeah. Let's tighten it. Let's go for another 100. Lock 100 either way. How about that?
Get it.
In or there you go. Out. So that
In
was
and
easy.
out. In and out. I like it. I like it. I don't know. I can't trade like that live. I could do it if I'm not. So, hats off to you. You're able to do it live.
There we go. Sold one.
That's it. Seeing some volume here. Let me see what the ES is doing.
It's going to be dropping if the Qs are dropping because of Mag 7.
Yeah, I just want to see relative strength wise. Did we form a lower bottom or not? Yeah, the ES is looking a little stronger than the tech sector, but we've dropped just the same. Let me look at the Dow Jones, my friend, the Dow.
The Dow is looking the weakest out of all of them to me.
Yeah, it's been the weakest overall. It didn't form new all-time highs in comparison to the other ones. If you look at the Dow on the daily chart, so definitely pulling back. But on a higher time frame, the Dow looks like when it catches a bid, it might go much higher. By the way, I'm not looking to the sky. I got another screen, but I don't have I have yesterday I had to say, guys, if you see me looking there, I didn't, it's not some I don't know, being I'm
You're off
looking
into
at.
space. What's going
Oh
on?
yeah, yeah. I'm just looking at my other screen that I had to put on top of my computer because I don't have the rack is coming today. But
Get a big TV screen.
I have one behind me.
We can't see behind you.
No, I can't. I could
All right, I'm
actually see it
selling a
in the
second
camera.
to move my average up. Feels like it wants to fail.
Feels like it
Again.
wants to fail again, yeah. But for me, it's going to be 11 o'clock, so I'll wait to see what happens around 11 o'clock to take another trade.
Waiting for those times.
Let me know in the chat, Greg, did you catch that gold or oil trade you were trying to catch? Justin and Pitt, I can't pronounce this. Pitt Maskovras, yeah. Let me know, guys. Don't be shy. Remember to like, remember to subscribe to the video if you like what you see, and let us know
Pit
if
R
you caught
Master.
something.
I think it's Pit R.
Pit R?
Master.
Pit R.
Pit, like a trading pit.
Like Pit Master. But it said Pit R Maskovra. All right. Pit R. We'll call him Pit R.
Pitter.
Oh,
pitter patter.
Oh, like
Come on,
Peter.
pitter patter. Let's knock down the cues.
That's it. Get it. Topple the Jenga tower for Jane.
Topple that tower.
Add some red arrows. Have it point down.
Put on a 1 minute. It's going to look nicer. Oh, yeah. I like that better.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
Yeah,
one.
there we go.
Looking
There
nice
we go. Go ahead. Keep on going. Keep on going. Let's drop one down.
Looks like I could take a second one there.
Let's drop another one down. Okay. In it for 9, no matter what.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. We might get follow through. Maybe I could do a quick in and out.
Okay, let's drop this down. Hey, why aren't you moving? Oh, I separated it. Come on. Move both of them down. Okay, it doesn't want to. Okay, somehow I separated them by mistake. There we go. Okay, okay. Come on, keep it coming, keep it coming.
Yep, we might get that 26, those 26 980s.
You know what? Oh, yeah, we'll put one down here. And we'll pull these puppies down to the low. Another 100. All right, either way, another 100. Thank you.
Shane is printing. Are you the Fed?
That's 0%. Let's tighten it up a little more. 140. Let's take another 40. If it bounces off of that 0. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
you must be the Fed, the way you're printing money this morning.
Yeah. That's how real their money is. Oh, we got bigger volume coming in.
We have volume. But it's moving.
No wonder
it's pushing lower.
Off the 0. That's the low of the day. Hello.
Yeah, but it's pushing lower. I mean, we
all right. We're aiming for this. We're aiming for this 121, 26.98.
Nice.
Let's do 26.99,250. Oh, got stopped out. Okay, I'm out. Done.
All right. Nice one. Nice one. Nice one. Nice. I hesitated there. Didn't capture that little extra down move, but
you don't have to.
No. We're good. I'm good. I got exactly the trade I wanted to get. So it doesn't get better than this. So yeah, we were looking at it this morning. We called it out before it happened, so very happy with this one. This was almost picture perfect.
Yeah. Plan the trade, trade the plan.
Exactly. Plan was to get out there, so awesome trade. So yeah, we might not quite get these levels here just yet, but we'll see. It's gonna be.
Let's adjust this over here. Yeah, it's off of that 50%. Should I do it again? Let's buy one.
Do it again, Jane. Do it again.
Oh, no, I didn't do it right. Here, come back down here. There. Oh, okay. Come on.
So you like pressing the confirm thing, huh? So you don't mess up. That's probably a good idea because I've fat fingered a couple of orders.
I'm not good with
the shortcuts.
Yeah, I would rather just go like I'll do market and then I'll just in.
Yeah, no, but
I like
I
the
see
decision.
you have confirm order okay or no. And that's probably a good idea because I've fat fingered a couple of times.
It'll happen. All right, let's put it back at the 33 up here. Let's put it back at that 21.25. That was my target before, yeah? Oh, my husband's sneezing. I don't know if you can hear that.
Now that you pointed it out, yeah, but I didn't hear it. It's fine.
All right, I'll rebound. We're right almost at 11 o'clock. Is it going to be the reversal time? Or will I get stopped out? Just going in with small one for the, yeah, there you go. Gave it back.
Let's see. Let me take a quick, I actually want to take a quick look at the other, the mag stocks, just to see where they're at, where they're trading. So NVIDIA pushing lower. Let me get this out of the way. Wow, this was nice on NVIDIA. Apple pushing higher. Tesla, my nemesis, pushing lower. Microsoft. Kind of flagging. Amazon holding there. Meta. Ooh, Meta pushing lower as well.
There you go. That Meta's drawing everything down.
Indeed. We could have even sold these bottoms there. Would have been a good trade. Google. Broadcom. Oof, a huge gap down on Broadcom. What's going on there?
Manipulation. It's so funny. People are like, what's happened to the stock market? Why is it dropping? I'm like, because the big money sold. It doesn't matter what's in the news. The big money sold. That's the reason why it's dropping.
That's true. That's why it's dropping. VIX is only at 18. Okay. So this is controlled selling. And let's look
gold is failing there too.
Let's take a quick look at gold. GC. Indeed coming down, but we mentioned it this morning that we might get a little pullback once it reached this prior area, and that's what's happening here. So I know Greg, I know you trade gold, so just keep that in mind. Let's look at our friend oil. Oil kind of moving sideways here, but we did get out of that gap that we talked about last week, that kind of no man's land area. Here we had gapped. We were trading inside of this. We had said that, okay, we need to get out of there for us to find something clean. We did get out of there, retested the highs, and now we're oscillating lower. So the question is, will this kind of trend continue and, go test?
Oil could be a little sleepy until we get numbers tomorrow or further with the Strait of Hormuz. It could be going sideways until they have their full position on.
Yeah. So we'll see. Everything depends on tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll definitely have to see what happens tomorrow.
I'll show you a quick tool as well if you want to put it over on my screen. It's really cool.
Yes, please.
My buddy Dave created the software,
Oh, me?
and so no, different Dave,
Yeah.
Canadian Dave.
Canadian Day.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so this is showing us the biggest trades for today. Like if we go back to yesterday, we can see, oh my goodness, look, they sold the Qs at 663 to the tune of $906 million.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
That was in one trade. 10 trades on the Russell for 793 million and 10 trades on the SPY for 901 million. Your favorite Tesla, they're at 379, right? So when we look at it, you go, oh, okay. Tesla at 379, we went up to 382 and dropped today. Nvidia at 212. So where are we hanging with Nvidia? So if I click
Nvidia.
on it too, the awesome thing about this is for anybody that's also a stock trader, right? You can see that this has all of the different trades and it automatically puts on the chart the largest trades. Basically, this is for this is for the last 60 days. So if I want to say for the last month, what are the big trades? They're going to show me. So is it going to bounce at 208.27? There's a
Yeah.
good chance. That's where they bought before. If
Can you
we
put the
were,
lines again? Because it shows the lines, which is nice.
yeah, I don't know what happened, why it took them off.
Okay.
Maybe I hit something by
Maybe you had
mistake.
something. It's fine. I thought you were the one putting in them on and off.
No, I didn't. It auto draws them for you.
Okay.
Let's see if it does it with, yeah.
Yeah. Because
So
it's
gold,
super interesting.
yeah, why is it doing that? It's taking it off. Maybe it's a setting, save image block, because they were there and now they took it off. Maybe it's
Yeah.
an update too.
Looks like they show up when you change ticker and then they go away. But
Usually they stay.
okay. It
So
doesn't
it's
want us to
something
see the
that's going
secret.
on with the software. He's always doing updates.
Okay.
But if you look and you go back, okay, so to the month, you can also
Nice.
see price wise, you can tell that we're below, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
all of these are above. So if I was really big into silver, right? For silver for a while. And I thought, hey, you know what? I want to get in on the silver trade. And now we're at the low. So we are in between the two levels. Is this going to be something where I want to get in? Oh no, well, we're likely at the bottom. So if we have all of that bigger volume above me, silver's likely going to go down. Let's look at Meta.
This
Again,
is
we were
super
talking about,
interesting. I like that software. Moby
yeah,
Tick. Nice.
Moby Tick.
Cool name as well. I like
Yeah,
the
so
play.
Meta, you can see it's moved. They were buying, buying, buying. Now look at how much sideways price action. Do you think, oh, even better. Hold on. I'll pull it up over here and we'll see. Form for Meta. Let's see if we have any insiders selling on Meta. Because this sort of price action, I mean, he already sells like pretty consistently, but the COO just sold a million. And
1,057.
again, he sold on the 15th and the 22nd. Does he always sell like this? Okay, so
He's
how come
just
he's selling all the time?
he's selling a lot.
Constant selling. Yeah. The
He,
director
the
sold.
CFO knows something.
Oh, always. But
Oh,
he's
he's
the
cashing
operating
in?
officer. Yeah, here, Susan Lee. So you can also
Oh,
click
okay.
directly
Nice.
on it and you can see when did she sell? Oh, okay. Well, she seems to be selling pretty consistently. So she sold the 18th, the 24th, the 26th. So in a 2-week period, she raised for herself 70, 82, 86 million dollars. Wasn't that nice of her?
Nice
The
pocket
CFO.
change. Nice little chump change here.
How about Nvidia? Because
That's
if
what
you
I was going
start
to
to
ask you if
see
you
the
could see Nvidia.
directors, yeah, selling. So back 38 million for the director. Oh, rough life, you know.
What a
Mark
struggle.
Stevens. Yeah. When did he sell before? December 25th. What happened? December of 2025. for NVIDIA. Let's go back here. NVIDIA. Did he sell just before earnings?
Let me see.
I mean, or just before 24-hour chart. Let's see if we can go to a weekly chart. Let's go here, the 25th. Okay.
Yeah, there was earnings on the no, that was November. Earnings was November.
So he sold here December 25th. We'll call it this week. And then it sort of topped out and went down. So
Yep.
we're at another high again. Is his selling at that was 173.68. So he likes to sell in the 170s to 180s range. So maybe he's got preset sales. Look at this. September 11th, 2025, he took 88 million, but he seems to do it pretty consistently. So you'll see there's patterns, right? So it
Yeah.
seems like every 3 months he pays himself.
He pays himself.
Let's go to Apple.
Can you?
That's when you
We
start
can't
seeing
see how
anomalies.
many. We can't see how many shares they're holding, right? Like it's not like a float where
Yeah,
you
you
can see the
can.
float. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you can. So here's Tim Cook. So we start to see, hey, Apple's got some selling. April 2nd, April 2nd, April 23rd for Apple. So if we wanted to see how many shares Tim Cook has, we can go here and then we just click on, oh, he's also a big holder in Nike. Interesting. He's purchasing Nike. What does he know about Nike?
Interesting. I don't know. Are they
Right?
gonna have some AI shoes?
He's now a maybe
he's
they're going
he's
to track your
leaving. He's
stats.
leaving Apple. So I don't know.
Is he going to Nike?
Are they gonna
Buying
put
in now before he
Maybe.
gets moved over. So amount of securities beneficially owned. So it does tell you right here how many
That's what I
on
wanted to
the
see.
Form 4. Yeah, it does. Can you tell I'm a little like I'm a little research junkie?
No, that's great. That's great. That's what I don't miss about trading equities.
Yeah.
But
So
it's
when we
cool when you see the inside information.
Yeah. So if we look at the Mag 7, Facebook, Meta, NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla. Has Musk done anything recently? Oh, April 23rd. Yeah. 96 million shares traded. I'm sorry. But average price was 0. What?
What's going on
Let's
there?
check the
It
filing.
hasn't loaded, or
April 21st. Okay, that was a week ago. Amount
when?
by
When is?
trust.
When's
So
the
he sold
IPO?
it to his trust,
Oh, he sold his trust. Okay,
I think.
so they just
By
moved it to the trust.
nature of indirect or beneficial ownership. So common stock, April 21st. Why is he putting it into a trust? Is he trying to shelter it because he's about to get a major lawsuit?
So my question. That's why I'm asking the question. What is the IPO date of SpaceX? Because that's going to be a
IPO
controversial
date
IPO.
of SpaceX. Well, supposedly they're trying to merge everything together.
Let me check. Well, that
Or,
IPO is
you know what?
highly.
It's 11:05.
Oh,
But
look at
we're
the
so into
time. We
this.
didn't see. We're so
So into this.
research
April
nerds.
1st, a confidential filing with the SEC on April 1st kicked off the IPO process. Of course, it's the S1. So then we go SEC filing and sec.gov over here and search by name or ticker SpaceX.
Because I'm just thinking maybe he might want to. He's trying to
Page
cover
is
his.
temporarily unavailable. But this is different. WDC SpaceX. Western Digital SpaceX.
Western Digital. Yeah, I'm just wondering if he's trying to cover, his back before that thing IPOs.
Is this
'Cause
it?
it's such a controversial one.
HB SpaceX. Eric Nadler.
But I'll look it up. I'll find
First
the
sale date
date.
is, I don't know. I don't see it,
Okay.
but it should be public info.
Let me see.
Starlink, SpaceX, Anthropic, OpenAI. Here's the registration at SpaceX. Do we have a ticker? May 15th and May 22nd.
May 15th. Okay. Yeah, it says late May. There we go.
Week of June 8th. Start of the roadshow. Largest IPO in stock market history will begin the week of June 8th, which is why the S1 must be filed no later than May 22nd, but it was already filed, supposedly. So I estimated IPO date June 18th.
Okay. There's no official ticker yet. They're saying SPAX, but not oh, there's a placeholder. But no
Are you
ticker yet.
putting up or something else?
No, I was reading something else. Anyways, it is time.
All right.
We're having fun in the research, but thank you so much, Jane. It was awesome
pleasure.
as usual. And
My pleasure.
I'll see you soon.
All right. Have a great one. Thanks,
Take
Dave.
care. Bye.
Bye.